When we click on the wrench icon, the subcategories of wrenches open. These are open-end wrenches, combination wrenches, ring wrenches, insulated wrenches, ratchet wrenches, slogging wrenches, adjustable wrenches, hook wrenches, sockets, tubular wrenches, various hex and Torx wrenches, car service wrenches, and wrenches for safely working at heights. All Unior wrenches are made from top-quality chrome vanadium material, which is tracked from the beginning, where the raw material is made, until the final production process when we hand over the product to its end user. During production of the wrench, we use different production processes. We start by cutting raw material, forging half products, machining to tolerances, doing heat treatments, and finishing operations. The most important characteristics of the wrench are precision and strength. The precision of the working end of the wrench is guaranteed by a stable work process on modern CNC machines, while the strength of the wrench is achieved by using proper material and proper heat treatment. As noted before, heat treatment determines the strength of the wrench. That is why heat treatment is one of the most important processes. We do our heat treatment in our own computer-guided furnaces and monitor the entire process at all times. At the end of heat treatment, there is also a very strict quality inspection. Shape, size, and all the other measurements of the wrenches, such as thickness, length, width, hardness, etc., are determined by ISO standard. All Unior standard wrenches are made in accordance with ISO standards. The standards also determine what torque value each size of the wrench has to withstand. Unior has its own testing laboratory, where we can test these values for every produced series of wrenches. Unior wrenches are designed in such a way that the strength of the wrench exceeds the requirements of the standard for minimal torque by at least 50%, and at some sizes even more. The first of the subcategories is the open-end wrench. Clicking on it opens additional subcategories. The most commonly used is a double-sided open-end wrench, where we have 2 dimensions in one tool. Then we have an insulated wrench for work on equipment with live electrical currents up to 1000 volts AC, a special form of a wrench for fine mechanics such as services of video and hi-fi devices, and a one-sided wrench that has the same purpose as a 2-sided one but has only one dimension. This is especially useful when we need more torque when working, as it has a longer lever, and when only one dimension is needed. There are also slogging wrenches, which are intended for heavy-duty work and are designed to be struck with a hammer. In this subcategory, we can also find various sets in which open-end wrenches are included. When we click on the open-end wrench icon, the basic information about the wrench opens, namely about the material, the method of production, its surface, and information about the standard according to which the wrench is made. If we click on the material icon, we can find more detailed information about the material used to produce wrenches, which in this case is premium chrome vanadium steel. This material is used for the production of wrenches due to its properties such as high tensile strength, the corresponding ductility of the material with higher elasticity, and the lowest possible susceptibility to cracking. If we return to the open-end wrench page and scroll down, we get to the dimensions of the wrenches. Each wrench has 2 different opening dimensions. Usually dimensions are consecutive, but different combinations of dimensions are also possible. One dimension can be combined with larger dimensions. For example, the number 13 can be combined with 10, 11, 12, or later with 14, 15, 17, and so on. Different markets and different maintenance work require different combinations of wrench, which is why there are so many different combinations. In addition to metric dimensions, wrenches can also be obtained in inch dimensions. If we scroll further down the page, we can also see a description of the different uses. Almost the same characteristics also apply to other types of wrenches. The difference between an open-end wrench and a ring wrench? We usually use a ring wrench where we can easily access the nut or screw and tighten or loosen it. Where a ring wrench cannot be used to access the nut, an open-end wrench is used. The difference between the two wrenches is also that with an open-end wrench, we hold the nut or screw at 2 points, while with a ring wrench, we hold all 6 points on the nut or screw. In this way, the ring wrench can be used to tighten or loosen with greater force, while the possibility of slipping out of the nut or bolt is lower than with the open-end wrench. The ring wrench is divided into several different subcategories. The most familiar to users is the offset ring wrench. We also have a flat ring wrench, a ring wrench with a ratchet and wrenches for special purposes, a wrench for scaffolding, a wrench for working at heights, and wrenches with a special profile. In addition to the usual ring wrenches, we also have some ring wrenches for special purposes. An open ring wrench, which is used for installations, hydraulic lines, pneumatic lines, and in cars for servicing brake lines. A one-sided offset ring wrench, where several wrenches are used with one handle and is intended for screws that are tightened more than conventional screws. With this wrench, we can apply more torque as the handle is longer and we have more lever. A ring slogging wrench, insulated wrench, special wrench for quick work, or ratchet wrench. Here, we also find all the sets that contain a ring wrench. When we open an offset ring wrench, we see that we have 2 dimensions on one wrench. On the right side, there is basic information about the wrench, the material, the method of manufacture, its surface, and information about the standard according to which the wrench is made. At the bottom of the page, there is a table of dimensions and different combinations. You can choose between metric and inch dimensions. In front of us, there are 2 versions of the ring wrench. The first one is a flat ring wrench. The second one is an offset ring wrench. The difference between these 2 versions of the ring wrench is that with a flat wrench, we do not have enough space for smooth tightening or loosening. Therefore, in such cases, we use a curved ring wrench, where there is enough space between the base and the wrench for smooth screwing or loosening. In cases where the nut that we want to tighten or loosen is not easily accessible with the usual open-end wrench, we can use an open ring wrench. As you can see, with a normal open-end wrench, a 30-degree turn of the screw is required so that the wrench can be removed and again replaced at the same angle as the first time on the nut. When using an open ring wrench, only 15 degrees is required for optimal operation. One of the subcategories of ring wrenches are combination wrenches, i.e. the combined open end and ring side. We have an open end wrench on one side and a ring wrench on the other. Both have the same dimensions. The wrench can thus be used for several different uses. A standard combination wrench exists in 2 options, a short and a long version. We also have subcategories of special combination wrenches. The first of these is the Ibex combination wrench, which is designed for quick work, the combination wrench for working at heights, the combination wrench with a ratchet on the ring side and for working at heights, and the combination wrench with a folding ratchet. On this part of the website, we can also find all the sets that contain these wrenches. Compared to an ordinary open-end wrench, working with an Ibex wrench is much faster, as we don't need to take off the nut or bolt during tightening and loosening. The Ibex combination wrench has a 3-point grip. That means the force is divided into 3 points on the nut and not only 2, as is the case with a regular open-end wrench. At the same time, this ensures a 100% grip for the wrench. The wrench profile ensures that the nut is safe from damage when tightening, as the force does not act on the corner of the nut. The next category is ratchet wrenches, which we have in several versions, namely a flat ratchet wrench, a ratchet wrench for working at heights, a folding ratchet wrench, and a double-sided ratchet ring wrench. In addition to the above, we also offer special forms of ratchet wrenches that serve the same purpose. On this page of the website, we can also find sets that contain ratchets. The ratchet wrench is suitable for quickly tightening or loosening nuts or bolts. The advantage of a ratchet wrench is that you can easily change the direction of the operation of the wrench with the knob on the wrench. The final category is socket wrenches, which you can find in different variants. On this part of the website, we can also find all the sets that contain these wrenches. The socket wrench is another in a series of wrenches that are suitable for quickly tightening or loosening nuts or bolts. The advantage of the socket wrench is in its adjustable joint. Thus, it can act as a socket wrench on the screwdriver handle or as a normal socket wrench. The advantage of a bent socket wrench is its special shape, with a hole in the wrench joint. This shape of the wrench is intended for tightening or loosening the nuts on the threaded rods, i.e. in cases where the nut on the threaded rod is too far away and cannot be reached with an ordinary socket set. The wrench category also includes insulated wrenches, slogging wrenches, adjustable wrenches, hook wrenches, tubular wrenches, HX and TX profile wrenches, car service wrenches, and wrenches for working safely at heights. More about these wrenches in the following video presentations.